All right, looks like it's recording. Okay, so this is page, what is this, 21? Just draw a line through it. Don't care. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, next page we're looking at is page 22. I want you guys to follow along and just kind of pay attention to what I'm going to show you here. And then after we do a couple of these pages and talk about them, I'll cut you loose. What you don't finish in class today will be considered Friday work. But let's take a look at here at page 22. Your sheet will give you tracing paper, yada yada. Done that. So it says to carry out moves specified, and then it says use A, and it's got this little mark here, and B, and a little mark, and D, a little mark. Those marks are called prime. So this is, look where my finger is. This is A. This would be called A prime. This is C. This would be called C prime. And this is going to come into play a lot more later on. So I'm moving down here, and let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit better here. I'm looking at number 1. It says in figure 1, it says translate the triangle ABC so that A goes to A prime. And so what you would do is you'd use some tracing paper, and then I've got A marked right here, and I would just move to right there, and I would redraw it. Okay, that's all you would need to do. You're just sliding it over. It says translate. You're just sliding it over. So A becomes A prime. And then you would redraw that triangle. Now, you don't want to rotate it in any way, so it shouldn't look like this or like this. Just keep it simple, slide it over. And you can see about where it would be. Questions on that, anybody? All right. Now, let's look at the next question, number 2. It says in figure 2, translate the triangle ABC so that C goes to C prime. So I could use the same drawing, and I would place it over that. And again, watch what I do. I'm just translating and just sliding it over. Not very far. It's just C to C. And then I would redraw that triangle right about there. Again, I don't want to rotate it. Certainly not going to do any kind of reflection. And neatness counts, you guys. I want you to use a straight edge. We talked about some of those handouts that I got back yesterday, and some of those looked like there was an earthquake going on when you were drawing some of these figures. So don't do that. All right? Yeah, if you want to grab one really quick. This one's a little tricky. I want to explain something to you guys. I'm looking at figure 3, and let's look at what they're asking us to do here. So put your pencils down and pay attention. You're going to be lost. In figure 3, rotate the triangle ABC 90 degrees counterclockwise. So we're going counterclockwise in this one. And it says using center 0. Now, what they mean by that is that's the point of rotation. When I've rotated things before, and we've talked about it, we had a point. So in this case, let's say it was B. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. If I was to rotate around a point B, I would just kind of press my pencil there, and I can just gently turn the paper to whichever way I was supposed to rotate it. But in this one here, in number 3, it says rotate the triangle ABC 90 degrees counterclockwise around point or center 0. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your pencil or whatever it is you're using, let me move this up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better, on 0, and just press gently. Which way am I supposed to rotate it, clockwise or counterclockwise? So I'm going to go this way. And how far?
90
All right, so watch what I'm doing here. It makes a big difference where your rotation point is located. So it says 90 degrees. Wow, well, I don't know. What 90 degrees is the right angle. You guys should all know that. It's kind of hard to tell. I suppose if I looked at segment AC and took a guess, I mean, that looks, the word perpendicular means 90 degrees. This looks like it'd be about 90 degrees. But when I'm asked to do something like that, there's a couple of ways to do it. I'm just going to show you one. Whether you use this method or not, it's up to you. Look what I've done here. What I've done here is I've dissected. I just drew a line from here to here from that point of rotation. And I'll go ahead and press here. And now if I need to turn it counterclockwise 90 degrees, it's a lot easier to tell. Okay, that's about 90 degrees right there. I'm just looking at that little red line. I've rotated it about 90 degrees. And that kind of helps. I mean, the first way I was showing you, you could eyeball it. But I kind of need some lines to give me a point of reference, and this helps. So my line, you can see it's going from center 0 to here and to here. So if I'm going to turn this 90 degrees, I know my line is going to go right here where C is, and then right here. And so I would just press it gently, rotate it, and that's about 90 degrees right there. Questions on this, you guys? Okay. All right, then in figure 4, it says reflect. We just talked about that the other day. Triangle ABC here in figure 4. This is what we're talking about here, figure 4, and here's figure 4. And it says to reflect using line L. All right, so I'll just go ahead and put ABC right here. And now I'm going to grab my protractor and I'm going to draw that line so I can place my line right back on top of it. And I'm just going to put a little mark here so I can put the mark in the same place. It's going to be right there. That helps me keep it a little more accurate. Now, when I reflect, what am I doing? I'm just turning the paper over. Watch what I do here. I'll just turn it over. Place the line back on the line, and you can see the mark on the paper and then on the transparent paper, and just kind of line that up. And there it is, reflected. And so you could use a little push pin, and I've used that before, so you can kind of make a little mark on your book where those points would be. Oh man, I went all the way through with that one. And then you could just redraw it. Here's the points. And what would that reflection be called? This would be A prime, B prime, and C prime. And then don't forget to actually draw the triangle. And if this video takes, I will upload it to the Google Classroom so you can view it again if you need to, if I'm going too fast. Okay. All right. Really quick here. Oh man, I'm almost at 10 minutes already. All right. Let me see here. I'm looking at the next page. This is page 23. It says in figure 5, rotate the quadrilateral ABCD 60 degrees counterclockwise using center B. So again, here's my tracing paper. And center B would be right here. And I'm going to rotate it 60 degrees counterclockwise. So here's counterclockwise, 60 degrees. All right, so that looks like it'd be about 90, 60 would be a little bit further. All right. If you wanted to be specific, you could use your protractor. Although, you know what, with these books, it's kind of hard to do. And it's so small. But you can see if we're starting at 0, if this line extended to 0, I'm going to go to 60 degrees and it would be right about here. All right. And so I want you to answer those questions. Let me see here. They do talk about having a digital version available. I've played with that a couple times. I'm not too impressed with it. You guys could actually go there and see if it works for you. Let me see here. What are these questions? Translate 3 units up. Yeah. So draw a line through this, because this refers to something online, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, don't worry about that. And so here we have a grid. Quadrilateral ABCD is translated 4 units down and 3 units to the right. Now, we haven't really talked about it this way before, but sometimes you'll be asked to translate something and they will tell you how far you're translating it. 4 units to the right and 3 units down. Well, let's see if that's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and 1, 2, 3 down. And so if you translate a figure, every one of these points would then be 4 units to the right and 3 units down, and you could just redraw it that way without having to use transparent paper. So this is they say a lesson summary. It's kind of just a good example for you to look at. All right, gosh, I'm running out of time here. Got to keep it under 15. Here's quadrilateral KLMN and KLMN prime. So it says after a 60 degree, they say counterclockwise rotation around point P. So let's take a look at this for a second. Oh, let's see here. Counterclockwise 60 degrees around point P. Here's point P. Counterclockwise would be turning this way. And it says 60 degrees. Man, that looks like a lot more than 60 degrees to me.
Oh, would counterclockwise be going that way?
What's that?
I thought counterclockwise was the other way.
Can you fix that for me? Thank you. So clockwise. So if this figure, if I was to rotate it clockwise, it would be the direction that the arms turn on a clock.
Yeah.
Counterclockwise would be this direction.
Yeah.
And so here's quadrilateral KLMN and its image, prime. After a 60 degree, they put counterclockwise. I put a question mark there. I was kind of like, what, really?
Okay,
so yeah, they made a mistake here. So let's go back to the original. Here's P, and I'm going to rotate it. Let's see here.
Isn't that counterclockwise?
That would be counterclockwise. So no, that's right. Okay. Yep. So again, this is another good example. All right. And I think you just have a few more to do. You guys should be able to figure out. So 26, I want you to do. 27 and 28. All right.